Hello everyone, Impy Hater here, and welcome back to my newcomer's guide for Elden Ring. This is part 7. In the last episode, we fought and killed Margit, which gained us access to Stormville Castle. And the approach that we've taken up to this point has mostly avoided us having to perfect dodges and time-specific attacks. Having the right gear, the ability to summon NPCs and spirit ashes, and being at a respectable level allows us to shave off a lot of the difficulty these games are known for. Before we make our way to Stormville Castle, however, we'll be spending the next several episodes tackling most of the Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula side content and going to the bosses in an order that should provide a gradual difficulty curve. For starters, we're going to head to the Stormhill Shack. And along the way to these mini-bosses, we're going to be collecting some of the items that we have not yet collected. We're going to head southwest, kind of along this cliffside here. And eventually it's going to open up on the right-hand side and allow us to climb up. Now you're getting close when you see our friends up there. So back here we've got a... Come on. Got a smithing stone. Next we're going to head a little shy of east. And you're going to run into some of these jellyfish that are red, indicating that they are hostile. So we're going to go ahead and grab the magic grease that's here. Then we're also going to grab the Godric Soldier Ashes. And then we're going to go ahead and head back down. So from here, we're going to follow the path. And again, this is where we came up in the last episode. But instead of branching off left like we did the last time, we're just going to keep heading straight underneath this area. And over here, you're going to see a path that we're going to take. I didn't mention it before, but these people are basically people who will read your history and future and give you a foundation of where you should be going in basically your next major goal. So again, another way to tell where you're supposed to be going. Otherwise, come up here, grab the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook, and then we're going to come down over here, and there is a scarab here that will drop an Ash of War. Now, while we are going to be heading back, I do want to call out that if you head down this way and you just keep following this path, it's actually going to take you out to this road. So if you're interested in going north to Liurnia, you don't actually have to complete Stormville Castle to get over there. Likewise, later whenever we get down into the Weeping Peninsula, we're going to find a teleporter that'll actually take us up to the capital, which is way up here. So there are multiple teleporters throughout the game that allow you to get places very quickly from a much earlier location than you otherwise would be able to. Otherwise, though, we're going to head back to the Stormhill Shack. And now we're going to head back down We're going to come off to the side here as it sinks into the ground there and head east. And you'll notice these things are standing around an Everjail. Now this particular boss fight is much, much harder than anything that we've had before, so I'll go ahead and mark this with a marker. What we're really here to get is basically into this building here. So by this point, the mercenary should be pretty easy to kill. A couple enemies over here. And this is going to give us a talisman. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to head towards this area. We're going to go back to Storm Hill Shack. And we're going to basically follow this path along. We're going to get a couple of things off on the side here. In fact, we're going to be facing off against a invasion here. We're going to finally be getting the stuff that's kind of in this little village slash camp here. There's also a couple of things up here. And there is a dungeon here and another dungeon about here. So we're going to be getting those kind of along the path as we head east. If you want to farm these guys, by the way, they do have some pretty nifty armor. And by this point, they don't do a whole heck of a lot of damage. Anyway, from here we're going to be heading north. We actually want to get up here. There's going to be some crystal tears over here, along with a troll. Kill him if you like. I'm going to go ahead and do so. As you can see, they don't do a whole lot of damage at this phase. We've just been collecting some levels at this point, and we're doing quite well for ourselves. There we go. Anyway, here's what we're after. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here and face off against this. So I'll go ahead and remove our marker here. So this is going to be an invasion. Kind of like Nara just was before. And this building in front of us is actually, as I said in a previous episode, the Colosseum. In fact, there are multiple Colosseums in the game in order to do multiplayer. And you can basically have a much larger multiplayer game than just simply getting people to join you for quests. So this guy is no slouch. He has fire damage that he'll use whenever he hits the ground really hard. But otherwise, we're pretty high level for him right now. And that's going to be Resuscent Henricus. We get the Hammer Talisman. So it enhances stamina, reducing attacks against blockers. Earlier, we also got the Arrow's Reach Talisman. Should be pretty obvious what that one does. Otherwise, this is a multiplayer item for competitive multiplayer. So we're going to head back south along this path until it branches off to the left and right. And we're going to take the left path. So you might remember this area from earlier. We went through it whenever we were heading to the Tibia Mariner. And that made for a very easy fight. This is one of the Godric guys that we saw in the Gatefront location. Got a shield, nothing particularly special though. Alright, so we're going to head up there and get that item real quick. And this is going to be a lance. There's also a couple of things we're going to get over there too. A scarab and a unique enemy who drops a weapon. Alright, so we got that. Rinse and repeat. So this is one of these same guys basically on horseback. Again, use this opportunity when you knock him off his horse to kill him that way. I'm sorry, not a weapon. Ash of War. Up here is a smithing stone. Somber smithing stone. So these things, by the way, are really nice because they basically allow us to get a whole bunch of smoldering butterflies. And these are used for crafting a whole lot of stuff in this game. One of the big things, though, is going to be fire-based grease. Otherwise, we're going to head back down, and we're going to go ahead and continue heading east. Again, we're going to go ahead and tackle the remaining items that I have on the map. You might recognize this area. This is where we ended up rescuing Alexander. We're going to head up here. And over here we have the catacombs. So you'll notice the beast eye quivers. This is basically telling us that there is Deathroot down here. So I'm going to grab some level ups. Again, our immediate goal is to get Vigor up to 40 at this point. Once I get it up to 40, I'm going to start leveling Dexterity and Arcane gradually. And then once I feel like I need more Vigor, I'm going to further increase this to 60. So if I happen to get any gear along the way that I want to equip that I can't, I'll potentially boost a little bit of my endurance. But for right now, I'm happy with the equipment that I have. So, skeletons. Nothing super special about these guys. Whenever they fall, though, they will be on the ground. You need to kill them quickly. We talked about those enemies in, I think, the second episode. On the beach, in fact. But this place is full of them, so make sure you kill the enemies that are here. Got more glove wart. Eventually we'll be able to make use of it. So just more and more skeletons. There are some behind us on the ledge, and they're going to be shooting arrows at us, so try to get rid of the ones on the ground first, or convince them to come over to you. Okay. So we should have all of them dead at this point, minus the ones that are above us. We'll be dealing with them here in a few minutes. Otherwise, head down here. Grab the Gray Violet, and we're going to open up the door. Grab a Blood Rose. We got 2 more now to kill. Alright, so we're going to be heading back now, and we're going to head in here. So this is the Uchigatana. This is actually the weapon that the samurai starts with. Really nice katana if you're going for a katana build. Even for this stage of the game. Alright, so now we've completed all the enemies in this area. We're going to head back to the boss room. As far as the death root is concerned that we need to get, it's actually in the boss room. We just need to kill the boss. So this is the first of several Black Knife Assassins. As you can see, this one doesn't have a whole lot of health. You can summon in here if you want to. Alright, that's going to do it for that. I am going to go ahead and equip that, though. This gives us critical hit increase, restores HP, which is great. So that's our death root. We'll be taking that to Garok a little bit later. Got some root resin over here. Some more over here. So, nothing really special about this particular one, as you saw. They only had a little over half their health. Later, we will be fighting some of the ones that actually are troublesome. But really, just keep attacking. At this point in the game, you should have plenty of health to be able to deal with them. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and head back to the entrance. So we've completed that. We're going to be heading towards item number 3 on our map now. And there's also over here I think a golden rune that we didn't pick up before, so. Again, blends in really well. So the way I prefer to do this, we're going to go over to where we helped Alexander. And I'm going to jump down using the spirit spring that's down there. We're going to be heading north. And off on the left-hand side here, we've got High Road Cave. So I need, let's see, a little over 400 more. Alright, so this area is basically kind of split into several pieces, but eventually we need to go down. Go ahead and check out that. So there's really nothing in this first layer here, just the item there. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and head down. Be careful as you're heading down, by the way. There's some ledges here to drop down onto. Then we got some cave moss. In here, there are some dogs. Wolves. I'm going to follow each one of the paths in order to collect a few items before we head down into the big hole in the center. And that's going to do it. So, drop down here. And then we're going to head up this way. Grab some cave moss. Then we're going to head down. So we got two paths. Follow this path first. So, this is actually where we're going to be heading here in a minute. For now, we're going to go ahead and head back. Well, I apparently missed some... Well, shoot. Oh well. Gonna come around here, grab the arterial leaf. Wolfie! Sorry. Alright, so now we're back, and we're going to head back in here again. So we want to get down to the bottom there. You can see there's a couple of items around. We're basically going to be heading around kind of the outside of this area. There are bats, by the way, down here. I want to kill them quickly. One right there. If you want to, by the way, and you got a good bow and arrow, you can shoot them from here. There's also one right there, down there. So I've got a smithing stone. Golden Ruin 4. As you can see, there's like a little waterfall here. We're just gonna drop down. And we're gonna come over here. Alright, so If you want to go straight to the boss, go that way. We're going to be jumping from up there, though, down there, so... So this is one of these octopus-like things. Alright, so we're going to go down this path. And that's going to give us the ability to summon other players. Pearl Calling Finger Remedy. And let me double check, make sure I got everything. Oh, I didn't. Cave Moss. And then once we get out here, we're going to stroll off here. And down here is a boss battle. So this is a golem. Not very hard. Especially not this phase. We can also summon. If you can knock this guy on the ground, by the way, your critical attack will be super powerful. It'll do like a third of his health, if not more. Otherwise, avoid his downward slam like that. And there he goes. This will get him for a huge chunk of his health. And there he goes. So again, that's going to be a pretty easy fight at this phase. So we'll go ahead and leave. There's one more thing we're going to get here before we continue heading east, and that is up there, actually. So there's a turtle or a tortoise neck over here. Crafting item. All right, so what we're going to be heading towards now is going to be here, and then finally we're going to wrap here. So we're going to grab the Spirit Spring and we're going to head up and cross the bridge. So before we continue east, I would recommend resting. We're not going to be able to get another one of these before our next invasion. Otherwise, we're going to go up that hill, and there is I think a golden rune 4 that we didn't get previously. In this little kind of, there we go, square area. So go ahead and grab that, and then we're going to get back on the road, and we're going to continue heading east. So right on the edge of Caelid, we're going to find a church, and we're going to find an invasion. Now you could potentially, by the way, go around here and go in the back area in order to get the grace before, but I want to be able to approach this enemy quickly and overwhelm them quickly. This enemy dodges a lot. And she actually does the same kind of attack as the Farum Azul enemy we fought before. As far as kind of where she, does that. If you have struggles with this, feel free to skip it. Otherwise, that's going to give us a charm. Raises holy attack, but lowers damage negation. And here we have a couple of cookbooks. And we have ourselves a grace. And with that, we are sitting at about 38 minutes, everybody. We've completed 4 major enemies, 2 of which were bosses. And we're going to be continuing to kind of head south from here, beginning to clean up some of the things that we've marked on here before we head south further to the Weeping Peninsula. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.